Taurus action continues with the exciting Uranus Cazimi on Monday, May 13th. Uranus and the Sun come together in a flash of light that illuminates what's important, reveals new paths and possibilities, and provides major breakthroughs. Let's take a closer look and break it down for all 12 signs. My name is Anastasia. I'm a traditional Western astrologer specializing in natal, relationship, and predictive readings. If you enjoy my content and want to support my work, please take a few seconds of your time to leave me a like or a comment, subscribe, and press the notification bell. It truly encourages YouTube algorithm to show my content to more people, helps me grow. You also have the option of saying thank you by buying me a coffee. I really appreciate every single one of you who has taken advantage of that once in a while. It's really nice. Before we dive in, a couple of announcements. If you have important questions, you want to understand your chart, you have a birthday coming up, or you want to treat a friend to a reading, you can book a reading or purchase a gift for a friend on my website, anastasiadoesastrology.com. There are different options, a couple of different durations, lots of options for everyone. Additionally, on my website, you can find the variety of candles and oils that I create. For example, this is my Moon in Cancer 2. Since we are talking about the electric, illuminating, Uranian revolutionary energy, I thought it would be good to mention the Cancerian calmer energy, because when you feel like the life is getting you down, things are frustrated, you don't quite know where to go, and you need a moment of peace and quiet, Moon in Cancer is the candle for you. This captures the powerful moon in the sign of rulership. It is helpful for creating ease in your life, for helping with sleep, fertility, femininity, getting you in touch with your femininity, and could be a great help for anyone born with their natal moon in a more compromised position of Scorpio or Capricorn. If your natal moon is in the dark house, 6th, 8th, or 12th. If it's conjunct Saturn, Mars, Uranus, Neptune, or Pluto, or making aspect to those planets, you might want that as well. Also today, as I'm filming this, I created a batch of Jupiter and Taurus candle. It's available for pre-order on my website, anastasiadoesastrology.com. It's decorated with citrine. I haven't filmed any content of it yet, but it's here, and if you wanted to get yours, you can do so. It's a small batch, and Jupiter will not be back in Taurus until 2035. So this is definitely a candle to get for especially if you have experienced that the last kind of year has brought you a lot more growth, a lot more success, a lot more stability, and you would like to hold on to this energy. Check out that candle. Check out my shop for that. Okay, so Uranus Cazimi, this is something that happens every year. We get it once a year. And the Cazimi is the moment of the exact conjunction. It's the planet coming together with the sun. Someone actually asked me a good question recently. They were like, isn't Cazimi a weak position? Because when the planet is close to the sun, it is combust, so it's overpowered. Why is Cazimi a good position to be in for a planet? And so it is true that when the planet is close to the sun, within like 10 degrees away from the sun, it is combust, which means it's sort of like weakened because it's under control of the sun. The sun's energy is so overpowering, you can't see the planet next to it. So it's sometimes compared to being sick and being sort of like bedridden and you're struggling, right? The Cazimi, though, is the exact conjunction. Cazimi, depending on the definition, sometimes it's degree away from the sun on each side. But most times, if you want to be like really strict and specific, it's within 15 minutes of the sun. So with Uranus specifically, this will last from 10 p.m. on May 12th until 12 p.m. on May 13th. But you know, you will start feeling it as soon as May 9th, and it will last until May 16th. So when they are that close, it is like the planet is consulting with the sun in its private chamber, because it's so like they're right on top of each other. They're like equals. They're, you know, more capable of bringing forth beauty and joy. And so Cazimi really is a lot more empowered versus combustion is weakened. It's not even like, you know, one is empowered, the second one is a little less. It would be like empowered is Cazimi, then no aspect to the sun potentially, or like a trine to the sun, or a sextile to the sun. and then the combustion. And there's multiple ways we can break it down: the rulership, detriment, etc. But we're not just talking about that. We're talking about the planet and the relationship to the sun. So Cazimi is the strongest, no aspect is the second, or a light aspect would be the second, and then the third one, kind of at the bottom of it, would be combust. So combustion can be quite difficult, and maybe I should make a video on that one day too. So Cazimi is the moment of empowerment. Here we're talking about Uranus, the planet of breakthroughs, revelations, sudden surprises, revolution, right, in your mind or in the world around you. Both planets are in Taurus, so if there is some kind of shakeup, it is likely for the sake of bringing more stability in your life. Sometimes we have to mix things up. We have to lift our stuff in order to move to a bigger house, right? And it's disruptive and it's frustrating, and boxes get lost and dog gets under your feet, etc. So there could be an element of some stress with this aspect, but I think for the purpose of stability, right? Or sometimes maybe you are purposefully disrupting something too in order to reach a new level of creativity potentially, or reach a new level of commitment. So like I said, this is exact on May 13th, Monday, 5:13 a.m. You start to feel it from May 9th until May 16th. It is happening at 23 degrees 6 minutes of Taurus. So you feel it the strongest if you have planets from 20 to 26 degrees fixed signs: Taurus, Scorpio, Leo, and Aquarius. It is harmonious for you if you have planets from 20 to 26 degrees, Virgo, Capricorn, Cancer, or Pisces, and a little bit maybe more disruptive if you have 20 to 26 degrees, Leo, Aquarius placements, because then that is in a square. Scorpio too, because it's in opposition, but I think still in the long run, it's going to bring important opportunities and important new paths. So in general, the sun represents the goals we have. It represents the perfect image. Uranus is like the lightning strike that illuminates that image. So it can make you realize that something you thought was perfect is not right, and offer opportunities to course correct. Or it could encourage new ways of reaching that goal, reaching that idea, that sort of path, that vision that you have. What can we expect? The unexpected. Uranus is the planet that is impossible to put in the box, right? Uranus is known for being unpredictable. So unexpected, exciting changes coming into your life, questions of freedom, and changes that are connected to that, right? Like if you seek freedom and somebody tries to like hold you, like a boss tries to tell you to stay at work too late, or a relationship, a partner is being too controlling, this could be the time you break away. This could be the time where you choose to find sort of liberation, right? And it could be disruptive for the other part, like the other party in the relationship, or the boss that loses their employee. But I think they maybe need to look for a different partner or a different employee. So opportunities to mix it up, opportunities to try new things, opportunities to find more freedom, exciting encounters, meeting people that have what you need, that have the resources, that have the knowledge, that can be eye-opening. Your intuition is a lot stronger, and you're more likely to receive downloads and important messages. You're likely to be more self-aware. I think a lot here depends on how open you are and how flexible you are and how willing you are to keep that beginner's mind in life, right? Because there is oftentimes opportunities present themselves, but people who are closed-minded might not see them as opportunities, might choose to stay in their comfort zone. So if you are someone who is like quite sort of solid in your beliefs and in your ideas of the world, which chances are you're not as solid if you're watching this video. I feel like people who are interested in astrology tend to be curious and open-minded, but maybe there are people in your life who are like that. So for them, these disruptions can be quite uneasy. It can throw them off balance, right? But if you are flexible, if you're open-minded, the chance of pleasant encounters, pleasant surprises, pleasant experiences are all quite high. I can also see, Uranus rules technology, so social media, AI, so opportunities to like present yourself in a different light on social media, using AI, using technology. You maybe like changing your style, changing your look, being that sort of person who initiates the change is quite likely here. Watch out for the usual Uranian, experiments gone wrong, rushing places, getting hurt, and taking unnecessary risks. That can sort of be costly. And try to be open. And if you want to know more, book a reading on my website, anastasiadoesastrology.com. We can talk about so many things. Your chart, my chart, probably not, but your chart, your relationship if you want to, whatever you'd like. And now let's take a look. Let's do like a quick rundown of what this might mean for your rising sign. I recommend listening for rising signs because that determines where the transits fall in your chart. But you can also listen for your sun and moon and compare. I know sometimes people resonate with their sun sign more or their moon sign. I'm not going to stop you. So if you are an Aries rising, the sun conjoins Uranus in your second house. And Aries risings have been on this path of identity shifts, of finding more independence, of figuring out who you are, where you're going, what gets you excited. So the sun conjunct Uranus Cazimi in the second house can be like a sudden opportunity to liberate yourself financially, to liberate yourself from outdated beliefs that are holding you back, to explore new professional possibilities, right? New financial possibilities. This is very much like someone who quits their job and starts a business, or someone who decides to start doing work that is quirky, that is different, that is new and revolutionary in many ways, right? It could be you coming up with the different healing methods for people, or you doing work that involves AI or something like that. There's very much like high-tech, science-y, futuristic, revolutionary financial opportunities on the horizon for you. And let me know how this resonates. How has Jupiter in Taurus and Taurus season been? Maybe there have already been some opportunities. If you are a Taurus rising, there's a Uranus Cazimi in your first house. So this is all about you, your body, your look, your personality, your style, right? And the sun conjunct Uranus offers you opportunity to make changes to that. And we're still continuing on that path that got started with Jupiter, Uranus Cazimi, of you reinventing yourself, you becoming a teacher, you becoming a parent, you becoming a YouTuber, right? It will be different for different people, but the Sun-Uranus conjunction could offer an exciting encounter. It could also bring your way even almost like some kind of like technology that can help you, a piece of technology or social media connection that can help you express yourself. There may be opportunities to change your body and get like an implant of some sorts. I don't know, like get like Superman powers or something. I'm thinking of like Rick and Morty, all the things that he's got built in his body. But like it's a unique opportunity to reinvent yourself, to liberate yourself, to free yourself from anything that's outdated, and perhaps do so that doesn't necessarily end things, but creates a new avenue for yourself. Like you're starting a side business, or you are starting a YouTube channel and you're like getting a separate source of income. You're starting to teach classes online, right? You're like branching out. Let me know how this resonates down below. If you are a Gemini rising, the sun conjoins Uranus in your 12th house. And here we're looking at beliefs, ideals, self-defeating tendencies. We're looking at your blind spots. And blind spots are blind for a reason. They're really hard to describe, right? They can mean different things for different people. So ever since Jupiter entered your 12th house in May 2023, and in April we had the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction, you have been looking for some kind of freedom, or you have been looking for a new spiritual path. Maybe you're already on it. Maybe you're already like embracing it and doing astrology readings and seeing clients and, you know, teaching tarot or whatever it might be for you. But I think you're on this path, and the Uranus Cazimi can offer exciting light bulbs going off. And if we're talking about spiritual path, this could be the time you get a brilliant idea, or you get a chance to partner up with someone maybe, or maybe you come up with a new way of healing others or working with others, helping others, right? With the 12th house also being the place of blind spots, self-defeating tendencies, this could be an opportunity to release something, even if it's just a maybe fearful mentality. Or it could be a literal bad habit, like you smoke too much and you feel like it's hurting your health. So revolution, unexpected change, surprises in the sector of mental health is quite likely here. Let me know how this resonates, and as always, you can book a reading on my website, Anastasia does Astrology, to know more. If you are a Cancer rising, the Sun conjoins Uranus in your 11th house. So this is the place of community, friendships, networks, social media, connections, dreams, new dreams, right? So let's go backwards. So in terms of new dreams, the Sun conjunct Uranus can bring in an opportunity to do something revolutionary. And it will be different for different people. For someone, it could be about starting a charity organization, or volunteering, or doing something for your community. Or maybe, you know, if we're bringing in like technology here, maybe starting a podcast or doing something like fun, unique, quirky. Because it's also the place of networks, there might be breakthroughs and openings in your friendships and networks. Maybe you're meeting new people, connecting with new people, or you're liberating yourself from old relationships. Sometimes that can feel quite freeing and happy. So changes around social dynamics, unique encounters, right? Friends being sources of enlightenment, empowerment, or you being the person who is the carrier of change. Carrier pigeon of change. You being that person who like carries the torch and shines light and helps others liberate themselves is a possibility too. Let me know how this resonates, and if you want to know more, book a reading on my website, anastasiadoesastrology.com. If you are a Leo rising, Uranus Cazimi happens in your 10th house of career, status, reputation. There's a lot going on in your house of career, status, reputation. Jupiter has been there for a year, conjoined Uranus in April 2024, less than a month ago. And so you are feeling ready for new things professionally. And so Uranus Cazimi could be the match striking, right? Like the sort of let it all burn. Like if you're in a job that doesn't make you feel happy, that doesn't make you feel empowered, this could be just what was needed for you to quit, right? There can also be exciting encounters, as in you run into someone who has a connection in a publishing house you've been eyeing, and you get a chance to work there, to maybe in the future pitch your work to them in the future. So breakthroughs, opportunities, lucky encounters, changes professionally are very much possible here. Let me know how this resonates. What has been happening in your sector of professional life? And if you don't have like a classical professional life, this could be about what you're known for, what you're known as, what's your involvement is with people in your life, with sort of community. What role do you have once you step out the door? If you want to know more, book a reading on my website, anastasiadoesastrology.com. If you are a Virgo rising, the Sun conjoins Uranus in the 9th house, continuing the themes of education, travel, writing, law, publishing, religion, philosophy. So it's the place of the higher mind. And Sun-Uranus conjunction, Uranus Cazimi, could bring exciting discoveries. It could literally be the time your mind is on fire and you write a whole like book of ideas, or you come up with an exciting version of reality, right? If you're a scientist, it could have to do with science. If you are an astrologer, maybe you experience a breakthrough in your practice. With ninth house being the place of education, and if you're working in education or you're studying, there might be exciting possibilities, developments there. You may meet a teacher or somebody who completely changes your outlook towards the world and your place in it. Sudden opportunities to travel, opportunities to maybe finish legal matters or start a legal matter, get a visa, go on a trip, write a novel are all possible here. And let me know how this resonates. How has the last year been? Jupiter has been here for a year, so this is almost like the finishing accords, like the big firework before the fireworks are supposed to end. And then Jupiter goes in your house of career, so it's like you're almost like completing, graduating, finishing some kind of cycle of growth so that you can bring it into your career and become known for it. If you want to know more, book a reading on my website, anastasiadoesastrology.com. If you are a Libra rising, the Sun conjoins Uranus in your 8th house. And here we're looking at partnerships, at resources of other people, at opportunities that come to you through other people. Debts, loans, taxes, inheritance, mortgage. So anything like that, you know, like you can get a student loan forgiveness. And just a quick note that this applies to you, but it can also apply to your partner because 8th house is their money. So you both or one of you can experience student loan forgiveness. You may receive the loan you've been applying for. You may receive an inheritance. You may win a lottery. Actually, a Libra rising, I know, has just gotten student loans forgiven and is supposed to get like a big payout. So it's happening already. But financial, sudden, surprising developments are likely because we're looking at dependencies on other people. I can also see exciting breakthroughs and changes when it comes to that. Like, you know, 8th house is agreements we have with other people, whether they're healthy or unhealthy, the ways we're tied to other people. So it could be some kind of almost like a breakthrough in a relationship surrounding resources, surrounding vulnerability, surrounding like leaning on one another. Like, you know, I've been talking a lot about 8th house and money, and 8th house has to do with money for sure, but it's also like, do you share your true feelings? Do you feel comfortable when your partner shares? Do you hide certain parts of yourself? And the Sun-Uranus conjunction can be this like illuminating opportunity where like maybe you even have like a crisis of some sorts around money because you feel stressed and your partner comes through for you and tells you like, don't worry about it, I got you. And just that simple act could bring you a lot closer because not that you're trying to, you know, lean on your partner 100%, but I mean, maybe you are, maybe somebody is. But like, I think these kind of times of crisis, surprising changes, maybe like financial struggles, they can bring people in relationships closer. And it could be your, you know, it could be your parent, it could be your friend. That depends on each of you and what you're going through. Please let me know how this resonates. How has Jupiter in the 8th house been? Have you noticed any blessings or have you been spending more money? Could be both. And if you're curious to know more, book a reading on my website, anastasiadoesastrology.com. Moving on to the lovely Scorpio rising. There is a Uranus Sun Cazimi in your 7th house. And this is all about relationships. This is all about one-on-one dynamics. So business connections, contracts, right? So the Sun and Uranus come together and you're getting a chance to revolutionize your relationship. Maybe you're opening your marriage or you are moving apart, right? Sometimes people might go through this kind of Uranian transit and they decide that they want to stay together, but they want to leave, like live separately or sleep in separate beds. For some of you, if you feel like too stuck in a relationship and too limited by it, it could be very much about ending a connection and moving on. But for others, it could really be some type of shakeup, some type of like important experience that maybe initially freaks you out, but then ultimately brings you together, brings you closer. With 7th house also being the place of business, being the place of partnership, I could also see exciting developments, exciting possibilities, exciting opportunities coming your way in terms of working with other people, running a business with other people. You know, if you're a therapist, this could be like a new technology or a new way of doing therapy that you are exploring. Let me know how this resonates, and as always, if you want to know more, book a reading on my website, anastasiadoesastrology.com. If you are a Sagittarius rising, there's Uranus Cazimi in your 6th house of work, health, and service, bringing insights. Just a second. I really needed it. Bringing insights, opportunities, exciting developments in your sector of work, health, and service. I've been making candles today, so I feel like it's like wax times a million in the air in my apartment. So it's definitely been circulating through my system. So 6th house, if we're talking about work, right? This could be freeing yourself from a job. I have a Sagittarius rising friend. She's been doing 2 jobs and she's thinking of quitting one because it's been too much and it's been difficult and stressful. So releasing something. It doesn't have to be a job, but it could also be some type of responsibility. Like you have a job, you have a child, you've also been volunteering, and maybe you're saying, okay, I can't volunteer right now because it's too much. I need to prioritize my health first or my child. The Sun-Uranus conjunction can also bring new developments. It can bring an exciting professional opportunity, some type of revolution at your job, maybe a chance to do things differently, to work from home, to work remotely, to travel, to bring like new technology into the mix, to just somehow revolutionize things from the way they were done. Also questions of like service and giving of you to a worthy cause and sacrificing yourself. There might be a need to maybe release some of that, or there might be a need to commit to something you find really exciting. And breakthroughs around health, around taking care of other people, sort of unique ideas, positive developments, maybe like shakeups that temporarily make you feel uncomfortable, but in the long run bring good results, are all quite possible. But definitely with Uranus being connected to like technology, science, social media, I can see developments that involve that too. If you are a Capricorn rising, the Sun conjoins Uranus in the 5th house. And here we're looking at topics of romance, sex, children, pleasure. I see Sun and Uranus together. I'm thinking pregnancy through IVF. I'm seeing reaching to science and using science to help you conceive. I see this as pleasure, finding pleasure, maybe experimenting in your relationship, maybe also using technology in your bedroom, right? Maybe some type of like breakthrough sexually. You introduce a toy into the mix and you're like, okay, this is the levels of feeling I've never had before. Something like that. Birthing something, birthing a new passion project, birthing an actual baby, is all quite possible. 5th house, I think we got to remember that 5th house holds pleasure, and pleasure is really different for different people. So I think if I had to sum it up, to me, this reads as like opportunities to reinvent your life and to have more joy, whatever it might be for you, right? Maybe for you, for one person, it's about quitting their job. For another person, it's about starting a new passion project. For someone else, it's about becoming a parent. For someone else, it's about dating around. So it will be very personal, very unique to you. Let me know how this resonates. And if you want to know more, book a reading on my website, anastasiadoesastrology.com. If you are an Aquarius rising, there is Uranus Cazimi in your 4th house of home, family, and living situation. So here we're looking at your foundations, and we're looking at opportunities to shine light, to reinvent, to revolutionize your foundations, right? The foundations could be childhood and your past, and maybe you're experiencing breakthroughs in therapy. You're experiencing breakthroughs in your familial relationships. You're starting to look at your parents differently, at your childhood differently. You're becoming more open-minded, more forgiving. Or you're choosing to separate from a toxic familial relationship, from a toxic dynamic. There may be major developments in your family, like becoming a parent, like moving, right? We're talking about living situation, real estate, maybe a chance to... Sometimes it could really be like just about creating, making your home a smart home, like adding Siri, or not Siri, Alexa to your home, and just like adding more technology, right? But I think it's very much opportunities to like revolutionize your home, your family, maybe even your your business, if you're in a business that works with like house management, property management, history, sort of family history, genealogy, stuff like that. Let me know how this resonates. How has May been for you so far? Have you already been seeing something like that in your life? And if you want to know more, book a reading on my website, anastasiadoesastrology.com. Finally, the lovely Pisces rising. There's Uranus Cazimi in your 3rd house. And this feels very electric for your mind. I think intellectually, or like in terms of like thoughts, 3rd house represents how we communicate, what we think, how we do our everyday life. So Sun, Uranus together could be a chance to break away from the old. So it could be literally, you're starting to meditate. Starting to meditate, starting to write, starting to journal, starting to think happy thoughts. You are realizing that something in your everyday life is outdated and you want to change it. 3rd house is the place of business. It's the place of skills and hobbies. So if you've been working on a business for a while, if you've been working on teaching, studying, writing, or even thinking about it, there might be sudden opportunities to do that. Surprising trips may come up, changes to your schedule may come up, but like they're all, I think, for the purpose of like liberating you and creating more freedom in your life. So ask yourself, what is missing in your life right now? Like, what changes can you make? And perhaps you initiate those changes instead of waiting for the world to slap you in the face and be like, ta-da, here's the change. Maybe you buy a Fitbit and you start working out and tracking calories instead of like thinking about losing weight. Or maybe you start a business instead of working for a boss that you don't like. Or maybe you decide to move to a place without having everything figured out just because you're tired of waiting. So it will be quite different for a different Pisces rising. Please let me know how this resonates. And as always, if you want to know more, I am here. You can find me at my website, anastasiadoesastrology.com. I hope this video was helpful. I hope you enjoyed it. And I look forward to talking to you about other transits. I feel like in May, there's just so much going on in Taurus that every transit or every like important development just like touches Taurus. So it might feel like we're talking about the same thing, but I think there is like a slightly different flavor. Like with Uranus, for example, it's technology, revolution, social media, AI, and stuff like that. I'll talk to you very soon. Bye.